Hello and welcome to today's video. We are here for stage number 4, week number 2, power rankings. We're going to take a look at all the teams, how they rank this week. This is the first power ranking video. We got some little kittens here. Come here. Don't attack me. All right, you can come here then instead. Come here. This is what we have. We got some kittens. Look at the camera. Down to sleeping, but still, they're playing back here, so you might hear that during the thing. They're going to probably be jumping around and doing whatever. Anyways, our power rankings this week, very, very interesting. There's either teams that are 0-4, 2-2, or 4-0, basically. And there's 2 teams that are 3-1. So basically it's 4-0, 3-1, 2-2, or 0-4. That's the records. There's nothing like too crazy yet. It still is pretty early in the stage, of course. Everybody's still trying to figure out the meta, figure out how everything is with Brigitte. I think Brigitte is very, very cool character, so it's cool to see some good plays with her. But either way, our power rankings this week, we're doing something a little bit different. We do have the thing that shows their ranking from last week, so we can know where they were last week. Alright, so coming in number 12, and was 12 last week. So no move here. The Florida Mayhem. They are 0-4 in the stage. They're 1-14-1 on maps. Differential -13. They've only taken 1 map entirely. So that's the thing. They really have struggled in this stage. The Florida Mayhem are 6-28 in the league overall. They are 11th, and they are 36, 105 on maps, and they have a differential of 64. So, for the Florida Mayhem this week, it started out against Los Angeles Fight, where they took the first map. And that day actually started out very interesting, because it started with Dallas beating Boston, so it's like, okay, what's happening today? But yeah, so Florida Mayhem won on Kings Row against the Valiant, but then lost Hanamura, Lijiang Tower, and Watchpoint Gibraltar. Then later on in the week, Florida Mayhem got forward by the Los Angeles Gladiators, losing Kings Row, Hanamura, Lijiang Tower, and then Dorado. So, not a good week overall for Florida, but when is a good week for Florida? Alright. Next on the stage in the power rankings, down 1 position from last week, the Shanghai Dragons. They are 11th this week. They are 11th in the stage as well. They're 0-4. They're 2-14, differential of 12, or -12, should I say. Overall in the league, Shanghai Dragons are last place. Of course, everyone knows they're 0-34. They are 19, 119, and 1, and they have a map differential of -100. Oh my god. The Shanghai Dragons started out this week getting 4-0'd by the Philadelphia Fusion, losing Blizzard World, Horizon Lunar Colony, Oasis, and Watchpoint Gibraltar. Later on, the Shanghai Dragons went on to play against the New York Excelsior. I'm sure everyone knows how that went. They lost Blizzard World, Horizon Lunar Colony, Oasis, and Dorado. I'm going to move this just a little bit. I think it's a little bit further over than it usually is. Plus, I'm kind of thrown off by the current being open because of the air conditioner. So, that is that. Next up here in our power rankings. Oh my god, there's like some water in my beard and it's coming everywhere. Alright, next up in the power rankings, in 10th place, is the Seoul Dynasty. They're down 1 spot from last week as well. They're ranked 10th. It's crazy to think that in the power rankings earlier in the season they were ranked number 1. Soul over here, which is one of the kittens, is rolling around in a little house that we have for kittens. Yeah. Anyways, Seoul Dynasty. They are 9th overall in the league. The stage tied with the Boston Uprising. They're 0-4. And they have the same map differential as when they're tied. They are 13. They are 5-13, and they have a differential of -8. In the league, the Seoul Dynasty are 7th. They are 19-15, for their wins and losses, and they're 77, 66, and 3, so they have a differential of only 11. So they're struggling their differential. They actually have the worst differential of all the teams with a positive map differential. This week for the Seoul Dynasty, very difficult week for them to take on both the Nuke Excelsior and the London Spitfire, and I think, first of all, we know that those are both good teams, and when you take on your rival teams, you want to really beat them. And because Nuke Excelsior, they did not do good. The way they started on Kings Row, I thought, alright, there's a shot here. But they lost Kings Row, lost Horizon, lost Lijiang, and then lost on Gibraltar. Then they went and took on the London Spitfire. They won Kings Row, and I'm like, alright, this is going good. And they lost Hanamura, lost Lijiang Tower, won on Watchpoint Gibraltar, to lose on the tiebreaker on Oasis. I mean, not Oasis, on Nepal. Used to saying Oasis as the tiebreaker, but it's not. So that was feels bad. Alright. Next team here in power rankings, probably, yeah. Down 2 spots is Boston Uprising. They are 0-4. They're 4-12-1 on maps, differential of -8. And in the league, the Boston Uprising have fallen to 4th. Now there are teams that are all tied here. London, Los Angeles, Valiant, and Boston are all tied 22-12, but it comes on a map differential. Alright, so on the map differential here, Boston Uprising have the worst, getting their 83, 64, and 2 differential of 19, compared to the Valiant in front of them with a differential of 27, and then the Spitfire differential of 34. So, Boston Uprising are now 4th there. Get on our power rankings, they are ranked in 9th. So, to start the week, the Boston Uprising took on the Dallas Fuel, losing on Blizzard World, tying on Horizon, losing Oasis, and Watchpoint Gibraltar. Then, the Boston Uprising went to take on the Los Angeles Valiant, where they lost Kings Row, lost Hanamura, won Oasis, won Dorado, and then lost on Nepal. So they tried to make that reverse sweep, as what people were calling it, but they couldn't. Oh no, I'm so sad. Alright, next in our power rankings, in 8th, the Houston Outlaws. They're down 2 spots as well from where they are ranked last week. The Houston Outlaws in this stage are 7th. They are 2-2. They are 8-8, differential of 0. In the league standings overall, the Houston Outlaws are 8th. They're 18-16. They are 80 and 67 and 1, and they have a differential of 13 on maps. The Houston Outlaws lost Los Angeles Gladiators. That made me happy. Losing on Kings Row. No, they won Kings Row, lost Hanamura and Oasis, and then Dorado. Later in the week, the Houston Outlaws took on the San Francisco Shock, where they lost on Blizzard World, Horizon Lunar Colony, Oasis, and Dorado. Where I believe there was a stat that I seen somewhere that they became the only other team to get 4-0'd by the Shock that weren't the Shanghai Dragons and Florida Mayhem and Dallas Fuel. So, shouts out to the Outlaws for being trash. Got them. I just hate that team so much, and I love to meme on Twitter all the time about how bad they are. Alright, next up is the San Francisco Shock. They're 7th overall in our power rankings, down 2 spots from last week. And they are also 2-2. They are 10-7, differential of 3. Now, I really did a quick thing on this format here. I will go to the next page. The thing with this whole idea... No, we're not doing this. We're not. Come here. Come here. Alright, the whole thing with this idea of... oh, this is Soul, everybody. The whole thing with the maps won or lost, or not maps won or lost, but the moving up position. I think that's pretty important to power rankings, and I just hadn't included it before, so this week I figured, you know what, let's add it in. Alright, so the Shock are down 2 spots, like I said. Overall in the league, they are 14 and 20. They're 64, 75 and 3, differential of 11. Alright, I'm going to put you over here, but don't go biting wires. Okay? Don't go biting wires. This is all over the place power rankings. Somehow we're only 10 minutes in. Normally we're like 30 minutes by this point, probably. Alright, let's see what the Shock did this week. They went against the London Spitfire, where they ended up losing. They lost Blizzard World Hanamura, won Oasis and Dorado to lose Nepal. Later on after that, the San Francisco Shock took on the Houston Outlaws, like we just said in the last bit there, where they 4-0'd them. Blizzard World, Horizon Lunar Colony, Oasis, and Dorado. So, who's up next? Well, let's get back to this. Up next, up 6 spots. That's right, they went up 6 spots. The London Spitfire, they're 8th overall. In the stage, they're 2 and 2. They're 7 and 11 with a differential of -4. But I feel like this team performed really, really well, beating the Shock in the Dynasty, which we'll get to in a second. And I think that's pretty good that they went through and they got rid of some. I think they got rid of 4 players, which just really helped them figure out, all right, these are the guys we're going with. This is where it's going to work. Because if it works and you can sub out guys, then do it. New York does it really well. They sub in. Are you biting wires again? Oh my god. New York does that though. They sub in Pine. They sub in Animo, I believe I think that's his name. They sub in those guys a couple times. I know there's one other guy that sub in, I forgot his name. But they can sub those guys in and they know when to do it. And it's working. But for London and Seoul's another one's teams, they just sub in players and it just isn't working. So I think it's good that they really tried to figure that out and get to work with. What do you see? Huh? What? Come here. Come here. You're all over the place. You're all over the place. You are all over the place. Alright, the next team. Oh, we said it's London. I'm getting super distracted. I should not have these kittens in here in the next one. It's just making sure she doesn't bite the wires. That's the only thing. If she's doing anything else, it's okay. But she's biting wires. And it's a problem. Okay. So London are back up to the 2nd spot in the Overwatch League. They are 22 and 12, 91, 57 and 1 on maps differential of 34. A look at their matches this week. They're both 3-2 victories. 3-2 victory over the San Francisco Shock, winning Blizzard World Hanamura, dropping Oasis and Dorado, and then winning on Nepal in a tiebreaker match. And then later on in the week, they took on the Seoul Dynasty, losing King's Row, winning Hanamura and Lijiang, dropping Watchpoint Gibraltar to go and win on Nepal. So for them this week, they showed they can win on those map 5s, which are very important to be able to win. All right, number 5 here on our power rankings. Oh, I know what I didn't do. Wait. Alright. Alright, let me do one thing here, because I realized I made a switch, but I forgot to do the other one. Alright. So that's 2. That's 2. Alright, let me go to the tweet here real quick. Oh my god. Alright, so up next is the Dallas Fuel. And they are up 3 this week. That's right, they're up 3. Remember that team that everybody said was trash? Yeah. So the Dallas Fuel, who were supposed to be good to start, without their guys somehow, without effect, they've still managed to get some wins this week. Dallas Fuel are now number 5th in our standings. They're up 3. Dallas Fuel are 5th overall in the stage as well. They're 3 and 1. They are 9-6 and 1, differential of 3. And in the league standings overall, though, Dallas Fuel are 10th. They're 9-25, so they're out of the playoffs. There's no way they're getting in. They're 45, 89-7, differential of negative 44. This week, Dallas Fuel took on Boston Uprising. We said earlier, winning Blizzard World and Horizon. No, winning Blizzard World, tying Horizon, winning Oasis, which gave them the win because it was 2-0, and then winning Watchpoint Gibraltar. They then went on to get a 3-1 victory over the Philadelphia Fusion, winning Kings Row and Hanamura, dropping Lijiang Tower, the winning Watchpoint Gibraltar. That was one of 3 games that I watched this week. Some weeks I don't watch that much, I'll admit. I'll watch Souls games and then if there's something else, but I was waiting to record this and I had to wait till every game was done. And I'm just like, well, I'm sitting here, what am I going to do for 2 hours or an hour and a half? So I'm like, alright, and I watched the game. Alright, next up, number 4 is the Philadelphia Fusion. They were down 2 spots. They were ranked in the 2nd place last week, but they're down 2 now to 4th. Philadelphia Fusion are 4th overall in the stage standings. They're 3-1. They're 12-4 overall, differential of 8. In the league, Philadelphia Fusion are 5th overall, 21-13. They are 83-66-1, differential of 17. And the... Oh. That's a bug. So, the Philadelphia Fusion played the Shanghai Dragons 4-0 win. Blizzard World, Horizon, Oasis, and Watchpoint Gibraltar. Then losing to the Dallas Fuel, like we said. Losing Kings Row Hanamura, winning Lijiang Tower, and losing Watchpoint Gibraltar. Up next, we have the Los Angeles Gladiators. There are 2 spots. They're 2nd in the stage. They're 4-0. They're 14-2. Differential of 12. In the league, they are 6th overall. They're 20-14. 80-63-2. Differential of 17. Los Angeles Gladiators this week. 3-1 victory over the Houston Outlaws. Losing Kings Row, winning Hanamura, Oasis, and Dorado. And the Los Angeles Gladiators also took on the Florida Mayhem. 4-0 victory. Kings Row, Hanamura, Lijiang, and Dorado, all wins for them. Alright, the next team, the Los Angeles Valiant, they are up a 1 spot. They are 4-0. They are 12-6. Differential of 6. The Los Angeles Valiant find themselves in the 3rd spot in the league. They are 22-12, 84-57, and 5, differential of 27. The Los Angeles Valiant this week played the Florida Mayhem with a 3-0 victory, 3-1 victory, not 3-0, 3-1 victory, losing Kings Row, winning Hanamura, Lijiang Tower, and Watchpoint Gibraltar. Los Angeles Valiant then took on the Boston Uprising, winning in a 3-2 victory, winning Kings Row and Hanamura, dropping Oasis and Dorado, winning Nepal. Now, the number 1 team. This may come as a surprise to you guys. Moving no spots this week. So the number 12 team and the number 1 team are the only team that did not shift in our power rankings this week. The number 1 team, mind-blowing thing, is the New York Excelsior. They're 4-0. They're 14-1-1, differential of 13 so far. They're 31-3 overall in the league. 112, 31-3, differential of 81. They're just destroying everybody. They're guaranteed 1st seed in the playoffs now. If I click on playoffs, can I see now who's in? Oh, it's still not telling me, but they're going to get the 1st seed. No matter what, 1st seed round, 1st round bye. They have London Spitfire, Los Angeles Valiant, Boston Uprising, the next closest teams to them, with 12 losses. New York Excelsior have 3. Okay, that's just insane. The New York Excelsior played against the Seoul Dynasty, winning all 4 maps: Kings Row, Horizon Lunar Colony, Lijiang Tower, and Watch Point Gibraltar. They also had another 4-0 victory over the Shanghai Dragons, winning Blizzard World, Horizon Lunar Colony, Oasis, and Dorado. So, we got through that pretty fast. That was only 20 minutes. Wow. Now, you must look at the standings, because there are 7 teams fighting for 5 spots. As you guys know, the New York Excelsior are in, as we said. So, in 2nd place, London Spitfire. 3rd place, Los Angeles Valiant. 4th place, Boston Uprising. 5th place, Philadelphia Fusion. 6th place, Los Angeles Gladiators. 7th place, Seoul Dynasty. And 8th place, Houston Outlaws are all fighting to make the playoffs. Now, realistically, the San Francisco Shock do have a shot, but the Los Angeles Gladiators have 20 wins and the Shock only have 14. So the chances of the Shock really getting in are very slim. So, guaranteed eliminated though: Dallas Fuel, Florida Mayhem, Shanghai Dragons. So, London, Los Angeles Valiant, Boston Uprising, they need a couple more wins, and they should be fine looking at where they're at. But then from 5th to 8th is really where it gets super close. Philadelphia Fusion, 21 wins. Los Angeles Gladiators, 20. Seoul Dynasty, 19. Houston Outlaws, 18. Honestly, it really just comes out to 6, 7, and 8. If you really look at it, those 3 teams are fighting for that spot. Again, the Fusion, because the Uprising, Valiant, and Spitfire all have a 2-win gap, so they're feeling pretty good. The Spitfire should be feeling pretty good with their differential, and so should the Valiant. So the matches really to watch are the Gladiators, Dynasty, and Outlaws. So, what is coming up next week for these teams? Again, we're looking at Dynasty, Gladiators, and Outlaws. So, the Dynasty have the best chance to win this week. They haven't won on the stage, but I swear, if they don't beat Shanghai Dragons and Florida Mayhem, I'm just done. Done with Overwatch League for this season. So, the Seoul Dynasty have a pretty good shot to win those games. Los Angeles Gladiators have to take on the Philadelphia Fusion and the Los Angeles Valiant. Meanwhile, the Houston Outlaws also have a very good shot to get 2 wins this week, as they also play Shanghai and Florida. So, Shanghai and Florida will definitely be teams that will be helping Houston and Seoul, because both those teams should get 2 wins this week. Move them up. If both those teams don't get wins, they're done. Some matches to watch this week. Wednesday, there's 2 good games: New York Excelsior and Philadelphia Fusion. The Fusion were one of 3 teams to beat the New York Excelsior this season. It was the Philadelphia Fusion, London Spitfire, and Boston Uprising. I mean, Seoul Dynasty and Shanghai Dragon. No, I'm not going to suggest that. Los Angeles Valiant, Los Angeles Gladiators on Wednesday. Battle for Los Angeles number 4. That should be pretty good. The Gladiators again need some wins. Thursday, London Spitfire and Boston Uprising. Boston Uprising are a team that's going back down, and London's a team that's come back up, so see how that goes. San Francisco Shock and Dallas Fuel. That's also a good match. 2 teams that are bottom teams, the bottom 4 teams that are both kind of on the rise, getting wins against teams they're not expected to get wins against, playing against each other, so that should be a good one to watch. And Philadelphia Fusion, Los Angeles Gladiators. Again, another impactful match on the playoffs. Friday is kind of just a throwaway day. Houston and Shanghai. Seoul and Florida. Nothing really going to be good there. I mean, if you're a fan of Houston and Seoul, then she looked up when I said Seoul. Nice. If you're a fan of those teams, that should be a day they can get wins. Boston Uprising, San Francisco Shock that day. That could be good. Again, team on the rise, a team on the decline. And then Saturday, New York Excelsior, and Los Angeles Valiant. So again, matches to watch. Wednesday, New York Excelsior, Philadelphia Fusion, and Los Angeles Valiant, Los Angeles Gladiators. Thursday, London Spitfire and Boston Uprising, San Francisco Shock and Dallas Fuel, Philadelphia Fusion, Los Angeles Gladiators. Friday, Boston Uprising, San Francisco Shock. Saturday, I'd say London Spitfire, Dallas Fuel, New York Excelsior, and Los Angeles Valiant. So this week, I kind of want to make predictions. Wednesday, it's going to be New York, Seoul, and the Valiant. I think those are going to be the winning teams. Thursday, London over Boston. Shock over the Fuel. Gladiators over the Fusion. Thursday, Outlaws over the Dragons. Dynasty over the Mayhem. Uprising over the Shock. Saturday, I'm going to say Fuel over the Spitfire. I'm going to go kind of crazy, but I'm going to say that. Excelsior, Valiant, Excelsior. Outlaws, Mayhem, Outlaws. So that's what you guys can expect this week. There's only a couple weeks left because this is Stage 4, week number 3 that we're getting prepared for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed these power rankings and enjoyed the games this week. And we'll see you guys next Sunday. Yeah, next Sunday for more power rankings.